This year, but I'm certainly going to leave the AFL NT. Yeah, not going to finish for another 6 weeks or so. So I'm going to hang around to what should be a fantastic final series and watch Grand Final Day unfold, and then hopefully work with the business then to transition across to a new CEO. Two things that happen, right, when you resign. First of all, people you haven't heard from for years start texting you an email and you can go, oh mate, I forgot you're up there, best wishes, I hope it goes well for you. And the other one is opportunity gets created. And so before I even came up here, the business that I'm going to work for and I have worked together for many, many years, and I've got a couple of young kids who have ambitions to school themselves in Adelaide, and so does Mum. So I had to do the things that I have to do, which is take an opportunity that allows me to stay in Darwin for the next 7 or 8 months and then move down to Adelaide. We've done a load of succession planning to ensure that when this day came, we had an appropriate person who potentially could do the role as well as look at others from the outside. So, you know, I don't think football finishes or starts. I think the ethos that the AFL has is one that is, you know, leave the game in a better spot than when you got here. We received a number of emails already from club presidents who, you know, have certainly said that there's a lot of rhetoric driven on the back of media and unpopular decisions. They are highly respectful that leadership's not about making popular decisions, it's about making the right ones. And I don't think there's any good time to leave, is there? You sort of go, you either leave in the middle of an NTFL season, or you leave in the middle of an AFLW season, or you leave in the middle of an NTFL season. So I don't think there's any real good time. You know, what I know is that one of the most significant changes we've had here is we have a very strong executive now that sits every Monday religiously. You know, decisions, albeit that the CEO might have a right of veto, are fundamentally made with logic. And I know things like you know, Ty Martin Page and numerous other things that are going on with MRP, etc., will just continue, and they'll continue whether I was on annual leave for 6 weeks or whatever. And I'm really, really confident that the team that we've got in place are more than capable of seeing that continuation. So not worried at all, no. No, you get judged on the beginning to the end, I think. I don't think you get judged on isolated incidents. You know, we will continue to make sure that the AFL NT prospers, and I've put in a lot of work and a lot of blood, sweat and tears, and I'm not going to walk away from this business and see it falter because the transition wasn't right. The AFL is a very sophisticated business. It will go through a process. I think they'll advertise nationally. This job up here now, as we stand today, has an unbelievable elite facility in the Michael Long Centre. It has a strong strategy. It has a number of national teams. It has a conduit to drafting the very best kids that we've got. Has a massive exposure across Indigenous Australia in our communities, where we've got you know, 10 people working out in communities. It's a plum job, and I think we're heavily aligned to the AFL, and I think they will try and find the very best person they can to fill it. Oh, I think you only have to look at the key indicators of participation. In excess of $7 or $8 million spent on infrastructure. We're back on broadcast TV. We have our own radio show starting in a couple of weeks. We have led the way when it comes to state-based football media. So much so that every other state base is structured up exactly the same. We have received 3 or 4 different national awards for our people or our teams. We've entered a VFL side into the women's competition. We have an association with the Crows. We've had more people drafted in the last 2.5 years than we had in the previous 2.5 years. So all the performance we've delivered surplus after surplus, so we haven't lost any money. Our clubs are in financially better positions, competition's strong. So, you know, you can only be judged on the KPIs that are put before you, and we certainly achieved all of those. This morning, telling my staff was really hard. You know, you work closely with these people. What I know about this job is it's, you know, whoever takes it over, my advice to them will be, it's 24/7. And the people who are around us are the most, I'll use the words I use with them, the eclectic mix of people I've ever worked with in any career, in any corporate. But together as one, they're amazing. And so certainly, you know, telling them this morning was pretty emotional for me, and you know, I'm not leaving behind any friends because they'll come with me, but I just think people underestimate how tough from the inside this place is to work in, and when you look at the great people that we've got and what they do each week, whether that's the shiny stuff of putting a team out in the park for NTFL, or the not so shiny stuff in dealing with real issues that happen in real communities, you know, I'm pretty proud of them.